Good afternoon, everybody. How the heck are you? It is I, the Big Kahuna, Jason T. Smith, coming at you live here on a Sunday afternoon / evening, coming in under the wire for the July Surf Report. What's going on? How is everybody doing? How are those of you who went to eBay Open? Have you caught up? Oh, I see. Not yet. My mom hasn't recovered yet. Lori's doing laundry. Yep. I know the feeling. But good to see everybody. Little just quick housekeeping for those of you who are watching this live on July 28th, 2019. We will be doing a combined Thrifty Business selling past your expiration date tomorrow night with myself, my mom, Joy, and Debbie. And we will be talking about everything we learned at eBay Open. So just a little housekeeping there. Oh, there's Marlene. Hi, Marlene. How the heck are you? What's going on? All right. So what precipitated me wanting to do this surf report, the rejuvenate yourself, rejuvenate is a good word, recharge yourself and your business, was my wife and I had a social media free day not too long ago, and we'll talk about it a little more in detail of in the presentation, but I survived, and it got me thinking that there are things in both our personal lives and our business lives that we need to do, and we always tend to put it off. So I thought, all right, August is one of them longer months, and it'd be perfect time to knock out one thing a day. So 15 personal, 15 business related things that we all should probably be doing or have done already, but we just didn't get around to it. And so what I'm going to do is sometime tonight, probably, I'm going to create a printable checklist that you can keep track of how you're doing this month. So watch this and then print out your sheet and get to work. Now, the cool thing is it's not really assigned per day. So if you happen to knock out 2 things in a day, 3 things in a day, cool. But you know, for those of us who are super busy with work, with projects, with children, with spouses, with sports, if you can only get to 1 a day, that's cool too. But if you knock out 2, 3 in a day, all right. Now I feel like I'm slacking here. Anne's got a strawberry rum Rita in hand, which sounds delicious. But it's been a long week. We went straight for 8 days, so I just got some water and ice. Woohoo! All right. Let's get it going. Let me bring up the presentation. Let me get rid of and there and we're off and running. All right. 31 days to recharge your business and yourself. All right. Like I said, it's the month of August. It's coming up in a couple of days. So let's get ready. Let's think about each one of these things. And as I talk about them, start thinking about what you would do to get this checked off. All right. And you'll understand a little bit more in a second. All right. But we're going to talk work first. Work is so important, but also yourself, your body, your mind is important too. But, you know, we're trugging into Q3 and then bam, Q4 is here. So we got to be ready for the work stuff. So let's start with number 1. Watch a webinar you haven't watched yet. And I just realized all my numbers are going to be underneath the Powered by StreamYard sign. So whoops, sorry about that. I don't think I can turn that off, can I? No, I cannot. Okay. All righty. So some of you watched all the videos, most of the webinars. Some of you have watched half. And I can see the numbers. Some got tons of views, and others got lesser views. So I profiled 3 of mine and 3 of the guest webinars to see which ones weren't as well viewed as the others. Okay, so perfect timing. My buying and flipping Halloween costumes, about 50% of you have watched it. And hey, someone in the thrifting board just mentioned their Goodwill or their thrift store already have their Halloween section out. What? That's crazy. I see no other store doing that, but it's coming. And so I want you to be ready for it. And if you've not watched the buying and flipping Halloween costumes yet, go watch it. Also, another one that had about maybe a third of the views of the members was the tips and tricks for having a successful garage sale. Now, if you happen to live someplace where you can't have them, or if you live down a remote dirt road, you might not be able to have it. But for the rest of us, we all need to do that clean out from time to time in our whole house. Like, get in your kitchen cupboards. Have you not used that casserole dish for 10 years? Time to go. We got a coffee maker for our wedding. We still have it. We don't drink coffee, so why we got a coffee maker, I'm not real sure. But our guests use it quite frequently. So that's something that definitely gets used. But there are things in the cabinets that don't get used. It's time to go. And then recently, only about a couple hundred of you watch it, is the Rockabilly webinar. It's a whole genre, a whole walk of life of people, music, vehicles, they like to buy stuff. And so if you know what it is, if you know what Rockabilly is, you can see it, you can spot it, and you can make money with it. So I would recommend those 3 webinars for my surf reports. And then for the Typhoons, we got 3. Now, Juan did his flipping Legos just a couple months ago, and really low viewership. And man, there is crazy money in Legos. So I recommend everyone checking that out. Now, John, otherwise known as Popeye, he did his postcard. He did a 2-part postcard Typhoon. The first part was all the things to look out for. You guys watched that more than once a time. That was awesome. But part 2 is just as important. He teaches you how to list them, how to store them, how to sell them, how to ship them. And man, more, maybe a quarter of you watch that. So you definitely want to put those 2 together. And then Typhoon Chris Riopelli, we just did that not too long ago. And it's about using Instagram to sell items. So I recommend checking all those out. All right, number 2. Go to a thrift store and scan every CD. Now I should put a little asterisk down there. If you really watch my CD webinars well, you'll know what you can skip. And so that's fine. So when you run across Kelly Clarkson and Bo Bice, i.e. American Idol contestants, you know to skip those. But there is so much good stuff. And the reason I'm saying a person in the CD group that I run posted a quick and dirty how to keep your eyes out for good classical. And classical and opera are the 2 biggest musical genres I'm just way too deficient in. And so I kind of ignore it. And then I saw his little cheat sheet, basically. And I'm like, oh man, I'm going to check every classical CD, especially when I see him in the thrift stores. And there are so many things that you would probably pass that you're like, that's a dud. And then you scan, you're like, $50? What? All right. So one of these days in August, go to your thrift store, preferably one with the biggest CD section, and scan everything or almost everything. If you apply my rules on the things you can skip them, but be diligent about it. If you're short, get to the top shelf. If you're tall, get to the bottom shelf. Hit them all, because here's what, it's Murphy's Law. You scan all the middle rows, and being 6'5", I really hate the bottom row, but man, I know the bottom row is where that $50 CD is. So go find some goodies. Now, here's a great example. This was at Savers. Would anybody normally, especially before you take my webinars, would you have even paused on this 7 Sword CD? Mainly written in Japanese or Chinese, actually, I think. But I was $1.99 at Savers, and I sold it for $35. So there's a prime example of things you might not have noticed the first time. I either hope you notice now, or if you scan everything, you would have noticed, ooh, that's a good one to pick up. Oh, I forgot I made a little graphic. Sold for $1.99. Woo-hoo. All right, number 3, purchase something from an app to flip. And I do put Craigslist in that. And typically, truly what it means is locally. Most of them are apps. Close 5, OfferUp, Facebook Marketplace, Nextdoor, Letgo. Those are all apps. Craigslist is the granddaddy. It's not an app, but I definitely lump it in there because it's basically a classifieds that you're looking for locally. So go find something to flip, because we have talked about it a lot in this group, in the Thrifting Board, on all my YouTube shows. And I still find people who don't ever open the apps and look for things. all the apps are good for selling and they are good for buying. So just to give you a prime example, and since my mom is tuned in, I went to her corner of the world, and this Walkman just got listed 7 hours ago in Cleveland. I does say $1. He says make an offer. You need to buy this special battery pack that went in this Walkman. So maybe my mom reaches out to this guy and offers him $15. Well, here's what one just sold for with the battery pack and the case. This doesn't have the case, but $150. So I got to imagine if you get the little battery pack, which I saw selling for like $15, and you get this for $15, you got $30, you get $100 for this, easy. And if you're listening to this live, we're at the end of July, coming out, I think, next month, is a new movie about a kid in England who discovers Bruce Springsteen in the 80s, and he listens to Bruce on cassette on his Walkman. So again, that will propel people who are like, oh my God, I just discovered cassettes and Walkman. So keep your eyes peeled. Now, another thing in moms, so that was OfferUp. This is Facebook Marketplace. This is also in Cleveland. Look at all those 8-tracks for sale. And they don't mention if the case isn't involved, but I got to imagine if you're going to sell all your 8-tracks, what are you going to do with the cases? So I can't tell by this picture if the 8-tracks are any good. You can't zoom in close enough. And of course, I didn't ask him I didn't ask him any questions, but this is one of the cases that's in there. And this case just sold for $33. So if you go, hey, I'll give you $40 for all those, because really, who wants 8-tracks, including the cases? Boom. Those 3 cases, and it looks like 1 shelf, you're going to make a lot of money out of those. And then maybe there's some good 8-tracks, maybe not, but the cases, they sell. So go check out your local apps and Craigslist and find something good to flip. Now, you don't have to have it sold by the end of the month, although that would be nice, but find the item, because besides just checking it off, I'm going to have you guys get a little specific. So, okay, I got something off OfferUp, but I want you to write down what it is. What'd you get? Don't just say you did it. Let's see it. All right. Number 4, purchase something on eBay to flip. When's the last time you sourced on eBay? And this, I was kind of using eBay as a generic term. Could be Etsy, could be Mercari, could be Posh, could be any Amazon. So any place you can find something on the cheap that you can flip. Now, I've never shared this story, and I won't share it publicly, so to speak, until it sells. But I bought this Queequeg Tiki mug for $27.50 a couple months ago, back in April, and here it is right here. So let me pop me up here. $27.50. And the reason I bought it, because I had sold one in the past for a lot of money, and I knew I sold it for more than that. And there's a whole little, it's hand numbered. There's a cocktail in the back. So the seller never mentioned any of that. So $27.50, I picked it up. And then I go, well, let me go find my old listing, because I use InkFrog. I could just bring it up. And I sold mine for $175 back in just June of 2018. So I'm like, heck yeah, I'm picking it up for $27.50. And like I said, the seller never mentioned what number of 200 it was. Now, as you can see, I sold number 45 of 200. Look which one I bought. Now, if you haven't figured it out yet, I bought the one back that I sold the guy. So I sold to him for $175, and then I bought the same mug back for $27.50. Now, I have it up for $175. I think it's waned a little bit, but I'm still going to get $100. Still going to get $100 for it. But I got it sitting out there high and hoping. That's going to be a crazy story to share when it's fully done. But that is me out there sourcing on eBay. And I want to point something out, which I didn't notice until I started thinking about this. I spelled Queequeg wrong, and somehow I still sold it for $175. So source from eBay, source from online. Etsy's cool, Mercari's cool, Posh is cool. Find that mispriced, mislabeled thing and get it, and then pop it back up. All right. Number 5, conquer a profit pile or tub. We all have them. Don't go sort and pick the easiest one. Just walk out to wherever you keep your stuff, grab a tub, grab a box, grab a pile, and boom, work on it. Now, I do have help here. I have a full-time-ish assistant, and I have a part-time teenager. I still need to get the stuff done. I showed you that Nirvana shirt 2 weeks ago. It's worth $500, and yet it is not listed yet. So that's the kind of thing that we got to get done. So take your tub, take your pile, and get it listed on whatever website you want, but get it listed because it can't sell if it ain't listed. Oh, and to show you, there's the shirt I have, and it sold a few years back for $500. So I got to get it up there. Doo-doo. All right, number 6, order the shipping supplies you keep forgetting to order. Now, how many of us have done this? You sell a specific item that calls for a specific box, and you go out to grab it, and you go, crap, I didn't have any last time. I still don't have any, and now I got to go rig up some box, make it smaller, make it bigger, make it wider, make it thinner, but I'll order some later, and then you don't. And then you go or you sell that item again, and I hung up the box. Now, I will expand it a little bit. If you're selling CDs, if you're selling cassettes, have some fresh cases. Those aren't really shipping supplies, but these are supplies you need. And so while we're talking about things to do to our business, let's make sure that we are fully stocked in supplies. So, and don't overorder. I have so many number 0 mailers right now. I missed that I had a couple boxes in one area, and I ordered 6 more boxes. So don't go insane, but don't be out of anything. Let's get it ordered. I'm talking the free stuff like the priority mail boxes and the stuff we have to pay for like number 0 mailers. All right. It's all about pushing you outside your comfort zone. I want you to list 3 items on a platform you haven't used yet. So this is number 7. So, 2 good ones are Depop and Mercari. We haven't really talked about them. We will. I see Nay in the chat. I think Nay is going to do a Depop webinar for us down the way. But these are selling sites that probably not everyone uses. Those who are watching right now, anyone besides Nay selling on Depop and Mercari, I can't raise my hand. So this will be one of the ones I'll choose. And I'm going to follow along. Some of these, like you'll see, it'll be impossible for me to do. But for the ones that aren't impossible, I'll absolutely do it with you guys and also show my work at the end of the month. All right, number 8, start prepping the Christmas stuff you've been sitting on. Now, look, we tell you to list all year, and I do that to a degree. And then there's some Christmas stuff that I'm like, I'll just get to it later. And I throw it up on top of my shelves. And then it's like Thanksgiving. I'm like, oh, crap, I have all that Christmas stuff I haven't done anything with all year. So I'm going to start getting it ready now. I'm going to start listing some stuff. But I got to remember to list it at the prices it'll sell for in November and December, not what it's selling for in July. So you want to set your price specifically for the holidays. Now, if someone comes by in July and pays the holiday price, then cool. If not, no biggie. It'll come up and it will sell. All right, number 9. I want you to end, clean up, and relist your 10 oldest listings. Look at my listings. April 26, 2017, it was listed. It's been up there for 2 years, 3 months, and 2 days. Whoa. Okay, so to get them fresh, this is the time we want to do a sell similar. Although you don't want to do a sell similar every month. That's what we've been taught by both eBay and Google. But on these 2+ year old listings, I really want to give it a fresh look. I'm going to change the picture. I'm definitely going to change the title around. So I'm going to end 10, sell similar, change the prices, change the titles, maybe change my opening picture, and then we'll see how it does. And I will keep an eye. I'm going to use the notes field and keep an eye on these are the 10 I refreshed and see if they sell rather quick. So we went from sitting around for over 2 years to boom, that's the hopes and dreams. Obviously, I got it priced wrong. Obviously, I got the title wrong. Something. They're good stuff. It's good stuff. I don't buy crappy stuff. So let's get that done. All right. Number 10, sort the items you have mass quantities of. This is a tub of cassettes that is sitting in the bathroom of my office. And as you can see, the Post-its on there. I started to sort them and get them ready, but then another project came up and another project came up. And then these are the stamps I've been working on. And so now it's time. We've got them kind of sorted. Now it's time to put them together in groupings. We all probably have something in mass quantity that's not being sold one at a time. It's going to be sold in quantity. So take an afternoon, get it sorted, put them into the groups they need to be in, and start the listing process. Number 11, it should not say sort items you have mass quantities of. It should say Buy something in a thrift store section that you have never purchased in before. I have bought kids clothes from vintage stores, but I've never bought like a kid's pair of jeans. I never looked for a cool kids pair of jeans that Joy would be like, yes, those are good. So find that section of the thrift store that you've never bought in. If you've never bought a curling iron, if you've never bought kids clothes, if you've never bought, I'm trying to think of other weird sections of the thrift store. If you've never bought a garden tool, maybe there's a good expensive rake. If you've never bought a sports equipment, don't think of it as just the men's clothes. Think of it as, okay, have you ever bought a sports suit or a sports coat or suit? Have you ever bought a men's robe? So don't just think of the men's clothes as one section. Within that section, there's a bunch of sections. There's the t-shirt section and the button-up shirt section and the sweater section. So go pick an item out of a section that you have never, ever bought from before, buy it and list it. Great question. How often should you end and sell similar? You really shouldn't. And we're going to talk about that a little bit more tomorrow night about what we learned at eBay Open. But for these old ones, yeah, you should. When I say old, I mean like 2+ years. But you shouldn't do it on the reg because then it's harder for Google to find your things. So you should just be good to cancel and let it go. But there is a point when you're going to do something about it. You're going to have to redonate it, sell it at garage sale, have a sale, or rejuvenate it. So we're going to rejuvenate our 10 oldest. All right, number 12. As an homage to my parents, buy something large to flip. Now, if you are already buying large things, a few of these you might not be able to do because you already do them. All right. But we all tend to like to buy the pair of jeans, the CD, the record, the tiki mug. But how about a giant kid's toy chest? Or how about a giant dollhouse? Or water skis? Or, hey, vintage lawn furniture? How about some lap trays? Okay, so just because the dimensional weight prices have changed and made it kind of ridiculous, FedEx is still kicking ass for us. So that doesn't mean we should stop hunting out big things. And it doesn't mean customers are going to stop wanting big things. They're just going to have to get re-educated on how much it costs to get said big things to them. So find one big thing out of your ordinary this August. And my mom said, let me know what you find. I'll be happy to help. Okay, now this is the one I really can't participate in if I was, because I am going to participate. Buy a media you have never purchased before. I hope by now you have all at least purchased one CD, one record, or one cassette. If you haven't, there's an easy place to start. Buy a CD, buy a record, buy a cassette. For those of you who have, now you're going to have to go next level. 8 tracks, reel-to-reel, Laserdisc, beta tape. Okay, figure out one you have never sold. Now, I've been selling media for 19 years. This would be impossible for me. I don't think there's any I've never sold, and I've sold some weird ones we have never even talked about because they're so weird and obscure. They almost never show up. But that will be an upcoming webinar, the weird and obscure. But this was at Savers not too long ago. It was 6 reel-to-reels, and that first one's a Martin Denny Taste of Honey. This is a different Martin Denny, but this reel-to-reel in just good condition. And I can tell by that cover. That cover is beat. Sold for $30. So reel-to-reels, some good money. All right. Number 14, clean up your workspace. Now, my desk is pretty clean, especially for me. But this is the back corner over here. And when I was cleaning up the whole desk, I kept taking the little pieces of paper and this and that and jamming them in these little cubes. And now the cubes are a hot mess and they need to be organized. So that is my next goal, to tackle that, because you want to go into Q4 with all this done. You want your shipping supplies. You want your Christmas stuff listed. You want your desk clean. So take that day, take that afternoon, depending on how big your desk is, and clean up your workspace. Now, if it's not your desk, maybe it's your shipping table. My shipping table is a hot mess right now because that's where all the stamps are. I need to get that cleaned up so we can use it on a daily basis. Right now, it's kind of hard to use because there's 732 stamps sitting on it. All right, so clean up your workspace. And number 15, our last one in the work side, invest in equipment you should have bought years ago. Look, we all like to make money. We also don't want to spend a lot of money. But it's crazy to me, in 2019, I still see people printing out labels on paper and cutting them and taping them. And that's just, it's a waste of your time. And it costs the same for the shipping label as it does for the 4 pieces of tape, the ink, and the piece of paper. And I also catch a lot of people using their 1987 Weight Watchers kitchen scale as their scale to measure the weight of their boxes. Now, you got to get one of these digital scales because it locks the weight in. This one has nice because the front removes, so I can pull it like a foot away from the scale so I can have a bigger box on that scale, and it holds up to 75 pounds. So make sure that you have those things. If you don't have a magnifying light, man, I use it almost every single day. This is all the equipment you should have. Now, that's one of the webinars I did, all the equipment you should have on your desk as an eBay seller. So go back and watch that. But if you are the one using the Weight Watcher scale from 87, if you're the one that is stepping on your bathroom scale, then getting off and getting back on with your box, all right, stop doing that. Invest in your business. It's a business write-off. And all the equipment I always suggest you purchase, it's time saver, and no one ever values their time. So if all of a sudden it is like this to get the weights of your packages instead of by the end of a week, by the end of the month, by the end of the year, you have saved an hour, 2 hours. Well, that's worth some money. Is 2 hours worth $35? Hell yes. And that keeps compounding over the next year and the year after that too. So figure out that one piece of equipment. You're like, man, I should have bought that a long time ago, and get it. Now, you don't have to get it new. You could get it used. You could thrift it. You can find it on eBay used. You can find it on Amazon used, but just get it. Okay, we got to have an intervention here. I have a thermal printer, which is the best because there's no ink, and still print my labels and tape them. I'm not sure what's wrong with me. Yep, we're going to have an intervention. So that'll be next month's webinar. We're going to have an intervention for Top of the Hill. And it says I put all my oldest on 25% off sale for a month. It's all going to the garage sale if they don't sell. And that's good. You can put it right to the garage sale, absolutely. Or you can try and rejuvenate them like I suggested you do. So I haven't done this in a long time where I've taken my 10 oldest and ended it and really changed things around. But that's on the docket for this week, and we'll see how it does, because this webinar will have a part 2, the results. So I'm hoping you guys are going to keep track and then send me in the results, and then we'll talk about it as a whole, and then I'll find some cool things to spotlight, especially when it comes to the personal stuff, which, hey, now let's get to it. The personal stuff. The business stuff is pretty straight on. Like, go to the thrift store, scan CDs. Now, when you check that one off your box, if you found some goodies, say you found 20, you don't got to write down all 20. But man, if you found that $50 one, that $30 one that would not have caught your eye had I not told you to scan them all, that's the one I want you to write down. Okay, that's very specific. Now, the personal part is going to be a little up to your interpretations, and you'll see why. All right, number 16, unplug for 24 hours. It is a tough thing to do. And I don't care what age you are, what sex you are, what religion you are. We all live, and you should, because by our cell phones, and you should. Nowadays, you need to know what time the movie starts. Boom, you can get it in a second. You need to know how to get to a garage sale. Boom, you can get that in a second. You need to know the conversion of Great British pounds to American dollars so you can decide if the best offer you just got on eBay is worth it for you. Boom, you can do that in a second. That's great. But when it takes over your entire day and your wife saying, hey, did you hear what I said? And you go, I'm sorry, what? So took that full 24 hours off. I said, I let the admins know, because of course my groups are still running. And at midnight on Friday, I put the iPad down, and Saturday we spent the whole day doing things together. And we had our phones because, of course, someone needs to call us. And I don't mean throw your phone away. My parents needed to call me. If someone broke into my house, the alarm company would need to call me. You should have your phone, but don't look at it for anything else. Don't go on Facebook. Don't go on Instagram. Don't do anything. Take a full 24 hours and unplug. It is very tough. It gets a little easier as the day goes on, but it refreshes you. And you're going to have to catch up. So the day after, you got a little catching up. I have more catching up than most because I've run, a multitude of groups, and a bunch of people have bunch of people have had questions and stuff, but that 24 hours was pretty awesome. I will give my wife credit. Marissa says, I found 3 different Dymo printers at thrift stores and most don't know what it is. Yeah, we've never talked about it, but I think that's coming up. Maybe I'll do a whole little thing on shipping. We haven't done a shipping webinar in a while. So thanks to Marissa, that's what we're going to do. All right. Now, number 17, go see a matinee. I know I say matinee specifically because it's kind of like you're playing hooky from work. You go see a movie at, 7 p.m. That's like normal. So go see a matinee. Now, living in Vegas, we have so many movie theaters because most every casino has movie theaters. And when new movies come out, they start them early, 10 a.m., 10:30 a.m., 11 a.m. So, we'll get up, work out, have breakfast, go catch a matinee. And then when you get out of the matinee, you have time for lunch. But go see a movie. Go see a movie that you want to see. You got these second run theaters. You've got art theaters that show weird things. I don't care what it is. I don't care if it's, Avengers, or I'm trying to think of a arty movie. Is La Femme Nikita an arty movie? I don't care what it is, but go see a movie. Take your family, take your friends, go by yourself. Maybe you have a house full of kids. Go by yourself. Get a bucket of popcorn, get a Diet Coke, and enjoy the movie. Now, I know some of you don't like movies, which I don't understand, but hey, we all have our way. So maybe binge watch a TV show you like and pretend you're at a matinee. All right. Now, the one thing I'm going to add to that is if you have special screens if you have special screens near you, which I don't think my mom has any, unfortunately, you normally go to the regular theater. Go see a movie on an IMAX screen. It will blow your mind. If you ever saw the movie Dunkirk, if you haven't seen it, you should. It's about this little town in England, I think, that helped in World War II, where every just normal person got their little boats and went and rescued a bunch of people. Well, we saw it on one of the biggest IMAX screens in the world in London. And it was an amazing movie, but I think it was even more amazing because I saw it on this giant screen. So IMAX is one little treat, and they do cost more, but you get a more enriched experience. And then I'm going to guess most of you have never heard of D-Box. So D-Box Theater, for the most part, is a regular theater, but if you see those 2 red rows and the 2 red in the front there, those are special seats. So it adds a new dimension to your viewing pleasure. And those seats are actually wired to what's happening on the screen. So you go to D-Box Theater for action movies. You don't go for a talking movie. So we saw one of the Expendable movies with the Stallone, all the other old action stars. And so Stallone comes riding in on his Harley in the opening scene. Well, these seats are wired to the screen. And so your seat's bouncing up and down like you're on a Harley. And then there's a point where they take off in a plane. And so your seat tilts back, and then you can feel the rumble of you taking off, and it twists and it turns. Now, if you get motion sick, don't do this. But if you don't, it is really a fun way to watch a movie. I don't do it every time, but it definitely adds to the experience. And there are other immersive type movie theaters that are not D-Box and IMAX that, the sound is better, the picture is better. So if you go to a normal theater, if you got one that's got something cool, go check that out. Treat yourself to a movie. And yeah, Ma, you should definitely check out the one on the west side of town for sure. All right, number 18. This is, and I don't mean this one to go along with a turn off everything for a day, but if you have a kid or kids, if you have a significant other, and I don't care what type of significant other, but listen to them. Actually listen. So that means turning off all distractions. So if you guys sit down to dinner at a family, make sure the TV's off. Make sure the radio's off. If the dogs are barking, give it a bone to chew on, something. But listen to who you share your residence with, and listen. Not just like that one says, not just hear. Listen to them. Make sure that you're in tune with the other people living in your household. Even if you're in a household with a roommate, listen to your roommate. Maybe you've been missing out on something. Maybe you didn't know something good. Maybe you didn't know something bad. But turn off the distractions, even just for an hour, and listen. Make sure you know what's going on around you, because maybe you're missing something. All right, number 19. Oh, this one you're all going to love. Eat your favorite guilty pleasure dessert. And I would say these are probably my top three: key lime pie, cream puff, and any form of ice cream sundae, shake, concrete. I like all that stuff. I feel a lot of us, we're trying to make ourselves better. We're on diets. We're trying to cut down on this, cut down on that. And that's great. But any real good diet program will tell you, if there's that one day you feel like a piece of key lime pie, don't deprive yourself of it. Don't eat a whole pie, but have your favorite guilty pleasure dessert. But I'm going to back that up with number 20, work out harder and faster. Oh, did I misspell dessert? I misspelled dessert. I didn't mean desert. So if you have a normal workout regime, like every morning I wake up and ride my stationary bike. So after the day that I had a decadent dessert, I'm not going to go my normal level. I'm going to kick it up a level or two. I'm going to push myself a little bit harder. If you don't normally work out, now would be a good time to get out and take a walk. It is summertime, so I would walk either early in the morning or later in the evening. But, enjoy that snack. Enjoy the popcorn at the theater, but work out, because that working out really gets your blood moving. It gets you going for the day. It helps you not be so lethargic. And so, today's the day to work out a little bit harder, because yesterday you had an ice cream sundae with sprinkles and marshmallow and Cool Whip. All right. Number 21, clean out the clothes in your closet that you haven't worn in a year or more. This is my actual closet right now, as is. And I was looking for a shirt yesterday, and I found some shirts in the back corner, some of my older sleeveless ones that just don't fit right anymore, and I don't care for. And I'm like, oh my God, I haven't seen these shirts in like 3 years. I didn't even realize I still had them. So it's time to clean out the closet. One of the tricks they tell you, like when those experts who do this kind of stuff, they say, put all your hangers facing one way. As you wear a shirt, turn the hanger around. And then at the end of a year, the hangers that aren't turned around, you have never worn that in a year. And so maybe it's time to sell it on eBay, put in a garage sale, or donate it. Now, where the asterisk comes in is, if you have no occasion, men, to wear your suit this year, well, don't get rid of your suit. Ladies, if you have a cocktail dress, the items you only wear once in a blue moon, don't think about those. But as you can see, I got tons of Hawaiian shirts, tons of plaid shirts. And so the ones I just, we all have those shirts we pull out, although we like the look. I'm like, man, I just don't like the way this one fits. And so get rid of it. Do it. You will feel so much better. Trust me. All right, 22, go enjoy the outdoors. Now, you might think, hey, you already told us to work out. Well, this one isn't really about working out. This one's about going outside. Some of us don't go outside all that much. And you could work out, so you could combine these two, work out and go outdoors. This is Valley of Fire near us. I haven't hiked it in a long time. My wife and I have been out there hiking it a few times. It is amazing. If you come to Vegas and you like to get out and see nature, Red Rock is fine, and a lot of you have been there, but go a little further north to Valley of Fire. Amazing hikes, amazing views, amazing scenery, petroglyphs on the wall, just crazy awesome stuff. Now, like I said, it don't got to be exercise. So last night we went to a concert, because that's what you do after 7 days of partying with your eBay friends. You go out again. And this is the Link Promenade, and the Link is the giant observation wheel in Vegas. And the Promenade is where restaurants and shops and bars and concert venues are. And it was hot, and the line was long, and my back is really a mess right now. So my lovely wife said, hey, go sit down. I'll wait in line. And then, when I get close, I'll wave. And the line moved pretty quick. And then she pulled some awesome shenanigans to get us in even quicker because of my back. But just for that, 10 minutes, it was the end of daytime, so to speak. It was 6 o'clock. So people were leaving the pool, and the people watching for that 10 minutes, I haven't sat anywhere in Vegas in a while just to watch people. And it was awesome. Awesome. I saw good stuff, crazy stuff that made me shake my head. But that was just, I told my wife, I said, in about a week or so, let's go back down there, just grab a drink and sit on one of the benches and just watch people walk by. It was so enjoyable, and just enjoyed watching everybody walking around. But that's getting outside. Get away from your desk, get away from your office, get away from your house, get outside. All right, number 23. plan a vacation or getaway. Now, before you be like, hey, I can't afford a vacation right now. Look, it could be a vacation. It could be 8 days to Hawaii. Or I live about 3.5 hours from Pasadena. If I wanted to hit the Rose Bowl flea market next month, I want to get there early. So I wouldn't drive there in the morning. I would drive there the night before, stay in Pasadena, get up early, hit the flea market, and drive home. That's a one-night getaway. But plan something that also rejuvenates you. Now, you don't have to have this one done within August, but think of something that you can do in September, in October, in November, even in January. Think about something that you can do, and it's the anticipation of getting away, whether it be for one night or 8 nights, that gets you excited. It's always got me excited from the time I was a little kid till now. And if you have that on your calendar, whether it be 1 day or 8 days, you're going to be excited because that's something cool coming up. And it's like, the donkey with the carrot. You put the carrot in front of the donkey, he's going to move. He's trying to get to the carrot. That's how you train a dog. If you do this trick, I'm going to give you this treat. If things are going well and I've planned to go see the Rose Bowl flea market, I'm excited. If things are going really well and I can afford to go to Hawaii, holy cow, that's even more amazing. So plan some type of getaway. Does not have to be any specific length, but hey, if you can pull off 8 days in Hawaii, more power to you. All right, clean up the apps and or photos on your phone. The more you have on your phone, the slower it works. Although phones get more modern and fast and powerful, the junk you got on there, it just slows it down. So I have, see, look at that. Just before we go on, 2 nights getaway with the car girls to a fancy winery coming up in 2 weeks. See, mom's excited. It's on her calendar. So she's going to work her ass off for the next 2 weeks, knowing she's got these 2 days off, and she's going to enjoy it even more. All right, so I'm going to show you a few examples. Pop Sugar. I have not a clue what that app is, and I probably have never opened it since the day I got it. Now, it might be an app I need, and I forgot I needed it. I won't just delete most of them. I will double check them. Here's another example. Spock. And I got 20 alerts I got to look at. I don't know what Spock is, and I got 20 alerts I got to jump on. Whoops. How about eBay Open 2018? Now, look, 2019's over. I can get rid of that app, too. I still had 2018 on my phone. That's an app that don't need to be there. And then finally, I don't know what NT1 is. NT1? I have not a clue. So I'm going to clean up the apps, and look, we all take tons of photos. If you use your phone to take photos of items that you have listed on eBay, delete the ones that are listed and sold. You don't need them on your phone anymore. Get rid of them. And we all had that photo that we took as we were putting our phone back into our pocket or our purse. Oops, there's the inside of my purse. Delete it. Get rid of it. You don't need it. Ooh, Anne's got a 25th anniversary cruise that she's excited for. Cool. Now, if you already have a trip coming up, that doesn't exclude you from participating, but plan something for within that trip. So mom's going away to that winery. All right, mom, find the coolest antique shop near the winery that you have not been to yet. So that's you planning it, adding a little bit to it. On this cruise, Anne, if you've not planned all your activities, your excursions or whatever, plan something. All right, number 25. Rewatch your favorite movie. I don't know the medical technical terms, but man, when I watch one of my favorite movies, I am in such a good mood afterwards that, my dog could pee on my leg and be like, oh, well, whatever. I think I've seen the first Star Wars 400 times, and this will be a shocker. I think I've seen Smokey and the Bandit more, mainly because it's been on cable forever since it came out in the 70s. Smokey and the Bandit is one of my all-time favorite movies. I've probably seen Smokey and the Bandit 500 times. Now, I've only seen the Avengers maybe 10 times, the first one, but that was the first time that the Marvel superheroes as the Avengers came together. I turned into a 12-year-old boy, and when Captain America told Hulk to smash, I think I cried a little bit. So I still get that feeling watching it 10 times. I'm like, man, I read all these comic books. I never thought I'd see them come to life, and now Marvel's done an amazing job. Doesn't have to be action movies. Could be comedies, whatever you like. But if you got a day where you're just like a little down, a little off, it is so easy with streaming services and Apple and cable on demand to really just like, you want to go watch a movie? You don't need to go buy it and find it. You can just stream it real quick. So pick a day, and hit your guide button. Is your favorite movie coming up on cable? Set your DVR, or just be like, all right, next Tuesday I'm going to watch, When Harry Met Sally. So watch your favorite movie and enjoy it. Enjoy it. All right. So Stacy gave her first thrift class presentation this past Friday here in Vegas, and yay for her. Thank you, honey. But one of the things that she talked about was do something you wouldn't normally do that your kid or your significant other likes to do. So kind of goes back to listening to the people you live with. If there's something that your kid just loves to do and you're like, oh, God, I hate riding roller coasters, or I don't like playing chess, but it's going to be shocking coming from me. It's not all about you. It's not all about me. It's about the person or persons you live with or share space with, and maybe figure out something that they want to do that's not your normal jam, and do it with them. Because again, it's the overall quality of life around you too. So if everyone's gotten their bit of love and understanding, and they got to play chess with you, even though you lost, but it was fun for them, then it's just a whole better atmosphere surrounding you. And once you have a good atmosphere surrounding you, then you can be better at work, and you can make more money, get more listings done, go on to the next platform. It all gels together. 27, pamper yourself. This was from, what time is it? This was from 7 hours ago. I get my toes done once a month, and I make them pretty. And the girl that does my nails is always impressed with my combo, because I pick out a base color and a sparkle color. And I have my high school reunion next week. My friend from my class owns a bar with an outdoor area, so we're all going to be just hanging out outside. So not a fancy high school reunion. So we're going to be in shorts and cut off shirt, and I'm gonna be in flip flops because I got to let the sparkle toes shine. And so Stacy and I get them done together. We get the whole works, the foot massage. And when I say pamper yourself, it doesn't have to be this. It could be a regular massage, whatever you do that's a little indulgent, because you don't need to have a manicure or pedicure. You don't need to have a massage, but figure out something that pampers you, kind of like that feeling you get from watching your favorite movie. I walk out of the nail place and I'm like, I feel good. I feel relaxed, and damn, my toes look good. And bam, there they are. Look at that sparkle. I used a purple base with a pink sparkle over top, and boom, it's like they've been put together for their whole life. All right, number 28. Reach out to a friend you have not talked to in a while. And I was like, all right, I got to go find an example. And Pam Hutchinson, which is a secret beachcomber here. I don't know if she's watching right now. But we've been friends for a couple of years, and we talk on a somewhat regular. We haven't talked in a while, and you can get so focused in your life, in your business, that you forget, like, oh man, I haven't talked to this friend in a long time. And it's one of those things too, where life can be fleeting. You never know when an asteroid's going to slam into Pam's house, and no more Pam. So. After tonight, I'm going to reach out to Pam and say, hey, what's up? How you been? What's new? What's shaking? So go look at your friend list on Facebook, and, look at some, I haven't seen Tom in a while. I haven't talked to Sue in a while. Well, let me see what they're up to. And you never know. You never know when that makes someone's day, or someone's like, you know what? I'll just think about you. I got this business opportunity. You never know what it's going to lead to. So find a friend and reach out. Number 29, make a resolution. Look, resolutions are not married to New Year's Eve. They don't have to be New Year's Eve. We can make an August resolution. Do you want to quit smoking? Do you want to quit drinking? Do you want to cut down on smoking? Do you want to cut down on drinking? Do you want to exercise more? Again, many of these things can go together. So try making a resolution, and make one that it's going to take a little bit of work to do, but don't make it an impossible one. Don't be like, I want to lose 77 pounds in the next 4 days. Of course, that's not going to happen. But now's a good time to make a resolution. And it could be a business resolution. All right. I am not going to ever leave my office until the desk is always clean. So instead of being like, okay, I'm done for the day and just walking away and then you're dealing with a mess in the morning, okay, you're done for the day, but take that 5 minutes and clean your desk up. So figure out a good resolution and make it. And number 30, and I'm really bad at this. I love reading. I've loved reading my whole life. My mom sent me to the library, always let me go to the library. I was a book nerd forever. But with everything online, I fall behind in my reading. So grab a book or magazine you haven't read yet. Now, I'm behind like 6 issues of Hawaii Magazine. My wife and I are going for our anniversary in about 4 weeks. And so I want to see what's the hottest, newest thing and where we're going to be. And the best way to do that is to read Hawaii Magazine. And there's a new Tiki magazine on the market, and I haven't read it yet. And that's issue number 4. So that's how far behind I am. But that, again, it's one of those days where you got to turn distractions off for an hour or two, or maybe you're the one who likes to read at night. So get your book and sit in bed and read your book, but catch up on reading something you actually hold in your hand. And I think that's part of it. Like, you could read on Kindle, but I like to hold a magazine. I like to hold a book, and it's same reason people are always shocked that CDs still sell. A lot of people download music, but some people like to hold the music in their hand. They like this. Fine, you can just play it through the air, but some people like to hold it. So I like to hold the literature I'm going to read too. Oh, and this is the stack of newspapers I am behind on the kitchen table where I like to read the newspaper in the morning with my breakfast. However, I'm a smidge behind, so I will be catching up with that too. All right, so that was the 15 business things I would like you to do and try, and the 15 personal. But wait, doesn't August have 31 days? Well, it sure does. So number 31 is your choice, Beachcomber's choice. And I love this graphic. The brain says, we should go left to adult responsibilities. The heart says we should go right to a music festival. So what I want you to do for number 31 is something we really didn't discuss. So it could be work. It could be personal, but something you did to rejuvenate, to better your life, your work life, your personal life combo. Like if you are starting to sell a bunch of CDs, have you alphabetized them yet? Because it makes it a lot easier to pull them. So those are the kind of things you should think of. So start to think tonight, what could be that bonus 31, because I thought it would be interesting to see what everyone came up with. And because I got to imagine some are going to be on the same, we're all going to be on the same wavelength on some. And I got to imagine some of you are going to be like going way out in left field, but the rest of us are going to be like, I never thought of that, but I should definitely do that. And so I think that's it. Yep. That is it. So there we go. There is the Surf Report for August. It's about you and Ann and Peggy and Marissa and Stacy and Nadine. Who else is watching? Top of the Hill, who I don't know whose real name that is. Barbie. So all of you watching, all you who are watching later, let's try this experiment. Let's see how you feel on September 1. Knock these 31 things out. Some can be done 3 in a day. Some days are going to go by where nothing's getting done. But knock them all out and tell me how you feel. Tell me what you thought of this experiment. Because it was born out of me taking a day off from social media. I'm like, all right, there's more things I could and should be doing. And let's do them. Now, like I said, I am going to participate with you guys too, because I think it'll be fun. I really can't find any media I haven't sold, so I'm gonna have to skip 1 or 2 things. But I'll be right there with you. And what I'll do is, I will get the spreadsheet that you can print out, and then as we don't have to wait till the end of the month and say, okay, I've done this all. Like if you knock an item out and you got a picture of yourself taking a hike in Valley of Fire, pop it up on the post for this webinar. It'll kind of be fun to see as people do things. It could be just a picture of your clean desk, and that would tell us, oh, your desk was a mess. Or you could do the before and after. That's cool too. I love before and after pictures. My office house was a hot mess up until a week ago when Mom showed up. So Mom, Stacy, my assistant, and me really got into a nice working order. And I forgot to take the before pictures, and it was a mess. And now it looks good. I mean, you can walk in it. People can stay over. It's workable. Great question. Have I sold a mini disc? Oh, hell yeah. And I was one of the early people. I bought the mini disc recorder. I bought the mini disc portable. I made my own mixed mini discs. I bought the actual releases. So yeah, I've sold a lot of mini disc stuff. Jason, you can sell classical or country. Okay, well, I've sold tons of country, but I'm talking about the different forms of media specifically. And I have sold classical before. I've sold some good stuff this year. It's not like I don't sell it. I just don't pay enough attention to it. So good ideas, Marissa, but I do sell it. I should sell it better. So that's what I'll definitely work on. So, there's always stuff you could be working on. And when you work on it, that's when all of a sudden you're like, oh man, that just added like $50 a month to my bottom line. Woohoo! That's the whole goal. The whole goal is to make you more money or give you more time to make more money and to just kind of get everything in order in your personal life. And I think if you can get all these things done now as we're cruising into Q3, by Q4, we are all rocking and rolling and making good money because we're at the bottom of the day. At the end of the day, we're all retailers. Just because I sit in a office in Henderson and mom sits in an office in Newberry doesn't mean we're not retailers. We're all retailers. So when do we make the majority of our money? Q4. So if you can go into Q4 feeling good, your office is in good shape, boom. That's why we're doing this now. That's why we're not doing it in November. We're too busy to do things like this in November. But in August, we can do these things. So the lazy, hazy days of summer, let's get this stuff knocked out. All right, it's 6 o'clock. I didn't even practice this one, and I ended right on the hour. That's I'm even surprised myself on that one. Sweet. All right, so thank you all who tuned in live. Thank you all who are going to watch later. Good to see everybody this last week, and I'll be around. I'm going to catch up. If you ask me a question in the Secret Beach and I haven't got to it yet, tonight I'm catching up on everything. All right. Thank you all very much. Have a great day, and I'll see you around the beach. Bye-bye. Aloha.